All right, it says we're live. We're going to get a couple guests on here, see a couple people. No one's watching yet.
Get rid of the comments. I can see it comes on.
Absolutely. Now you got that dual screen coming on there.
I know.
No one's on yet. Jeez, you Pete's. Come on, people. Where are they at? Where's the first person's going to comment? 24 seconds. This is scary.
There we go.
There we
EMS
go.
barbecue in.
Oh.
Die hard.
Oh, yeah. Top fan right there.
Yep, die hard.
Die hard. Who else we got coming on there?
Looks like Ronald just came in.
What's that?
Looks like Ronald just got on.
Oh, Tiffany. Oh, future guest. I can't give away too much. But, daggone. Share to a group and getting stuff set up here. We're going live with John Lindsey here in a little bit, and holy smokes, it's been so good so far to talk to him just in the private. So, that being said, we're up to about 14. Ronald Burns is in here. Wow, man, we got a big group going in tonight. Woo!
Michael Fay.
Oh, Dave, you got a new background on you.
I do. I hope everybody likes it. I worked hard on it.
Scott, what is going on? Hold on. All right, Dave, we got a couple announcements. You want to take those away while I play with this?
Well, welcome, everybody, for another wonderful night of Q Chat. We got John Lindsey on with All Qued Up Steak Team.
Come in.
Who's coming in?
It's just a sign. Come in.
A few announcements as of October 24th. We will be in Waynesboro for the Barbecue Beast, Brews and Barbecue. We're doing a live Q Chat there for those wonderful ladies of ours on their crown jewel of the overall winner for the On the Bay Barbecue Sauce. We will also be on November 7th at the Smoke Showing Steak Cook-Off. Jake and I will be there.
Dave,
head-to-head.
Are we going to be doing anything special there?
We will be. We have a special giveaway we will be doing live. It will be a Arcasippy Smoke hat. Will be given away to one lucky winner. We will not disclose what we will be doing, but be ready on live, and the winner will get the hat.
It's going to be some personal trivia. We can give them that much.
It'll be personal trivia, and no one gets it, Jake and I are going to battle out for the hat.
That's right. If no one guesses it correctly, by the time we go live, Dave and I are going to battle for the hat. So, yes. All right. We can't dilly-dally here. This gentleman actually has to go over to another podcast after this, Mike Steele's BBQ CHAMPS ACADEMY. He has a class on there. Dave and I both took it. I took it 2 weeks later, got my first award in SCA, second place at West Newton. Dave thinks he's going to come along and beat me.
I don't think that. He's run his mouth, but that's okay. We're going to give it a whirl.
But we're going to see here, but we're not going to wait anymore because we have a packed house. 43 guests. That's the most we've had in a while. All right, let's bring him on here. Let's bring on Mr. John Lindsey. How you doing, John?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm glad to be here.
Man, thank you so much for being on. So, well, we start this chat off kind of how we do with everyone. John, we got a lot to cover and not a whole heck of a lot of time. I have a feeling you might maybe come back on here some other time if you like it.
We'll be more than happy to.
But we'll start off. How did you get into? Let's start off with how you got into like SCAs and how you maybe a little bit and you got into barbecue.
Well, I can do both of those at one time. I actually cooked my first barbecue contest in Kennett, Missouri. I'm living in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which Kennett is just about 45 minutes from me. And they have a barbecue contest up there every year called the Show Me State Barbecue Competition. And it's run by the JCs. It's an awesome, awesome event up there. And anyway, we went up there to cook our first barbecue competition and kind of got started in the cooking. Barbecue led me to my first SCA. You can fast forward about a year and a half. Well, no, actually about 2 years. And I wound up cooking a barbecue competition down in Whitehall, Arkansas. Miss Sandy Truman put that on. It was called the Good Old Boys, and it was the last SCA cook-off of the year before the World Championship. And I went down there and won it. I went for the barbecue, cooked the steak, and won the steak. So anyway, to make a long story short, I was hooked after I won the steak cook-off. So it all turned out great. We loved it. So the next year we started and we ran for the points chase, finished 4th in the nation that year. I didn't know what kind of feat that actually was. I was still new at it. I just knew I was cooking and loving it and wanted to cook every contest I could. And then the next year we ran for it, 59 contests. And Matt Overson beat me, but he cooked 83, 84 contests. I mean, almost double what we did. And, I'm proud of my points per contest, for those 59 contests. It was almost 5 points contest. So, I mean, so I was happy with that. This year, we're not necessarily running for points. John Walter, my son, is actually in 11th place right now, and I'm like 13th or 14th.
Yeah, so we'll talk about John Walter because he's kicking butt here too. But
he has been, yeah. So that's the way I got in, and we love it. We love everything about SCA. Met some of the best friends I've ever had in my life in SCA. It's just been a really, really good situation. So
absolutely. So starting off the SCA, how did the All Qued Up seasoning come into play?
Well, as you know, I've got my class with BBQ CHAMPS Academy, which that's been really a godsend for us. We're able to, and if you look at that elite group of people there, you've got on the barbecue side people like Robbie Royal. Grew up watching Robbie Royal on TV. I say I grew up in my barbecue life watching him because barbecue pitmasters, David Bosca. Yep. You've got, and then you've got people like Joey Smith. You've got all these guys. Mark Lambert, he lives just across the river over here, but he's a hero.
He's good, dude.
And so world champion, 6-time world champion, 6 or 7 times. So I guess to be kind of put off with those kind of folks and be put together with them, it makes a difference. And so I was honored when they asked me to come on. Anytime you can be recognized by your peers. Absolutely. Of saying, hey, it means something. And so I felt like when Mike Steele called me, it kind of solidified to me, I didn't want to put out a class because I didn't know that I had anything to give, But after we'd been through that second year points chase, we went to the BBQ Champs to put the class out. It was a tell-all class. So if I had to do a tell-all class, I had to be honest and tell folks the correct rubs I was using.
Yep.
I've been using all Qued Up Steak Shake for 5 or 6 years. It was my AP rub. There it is right there. Right there.
You got it there.
And now this rub, and there you go. You can see the Archisippy combo there on the screen. But this steak shake, for those folks that's never used this steak shake, if it's okay, I'll tell you a little bit about them. And
please.
These rubs are the most balanced rubs you'll ever get. You get some AP rubs and you taste it and it'll just knock your head off. The salt it'll just knock your head off. And so as you guys have took my class, and I kind of teach in that class how to season your steaks. There's an art to seasoning that steak. It's an art to layering that flavor. There's where your tricks are. And then I use these rubs. They're very well balanced. But then if I need a little extra salt, I put that extra salt on at the end. And that's the way I felt. I wanted something that was balanced. Yep. And so with these rubs, I tell people you can take this combination right here. That's the big red beef rub right there. There you go. Oh. And you can take 2 of those rubs of Ronald Burns. It's the Hottie Toddy line, which make up the Archisippy combo right there. And those are the 2. That Climax, and that was bovine you had, looks like. You can take those and you start out better because you've got balanced flavors. rather than starting out with some rubs that where you're already out of kilter because you've got so much salt, so much heat, and all kinds. These rubs together just work. And by the way, that little combination we just shared there with you just a minute ago has been responsible for 12 or 13 first place wins in the last 4 weeks.
It got banned in Texas, didn't it?
Yeah, they ran them out of Texas and told them don't come back. That was Andy and Cheryl Williams, and I won't put any names out there, but one of the big name champions out there told one of our teammates, which was actually it was Cheryl Williams. I will say that much to it, and said, "Look, until you win in Texas, you don't really do much, you know." Well, Cheryl and Andy went down there and just mopped the floor up down there. So I was excited. We love Texas and we love cooking and down there, and we've got teammates cooking all over the nation now with these rubs and just putting them out there and doing a good job. And we are so thankful for them. But that's how the rubs got started. If I was going to put a class out, I needed to put out what I was using. Of course, these were the base rubs. I was using other things with them. Everybody uses something different, you know. But when we started putting these together with Ronald Burns's Hottie Toddy, that's when the magic happened. That's when it all came together. And to me, there's no better combination than these All Queued Up and Hottie Toddy rubs together. So
it's crazy the climax. I mean, I know it says it's like an all-purpose rub, but it's almost like the perfect finishing dust. You can
see. Let me tell you what put that on the, and you probably know, but I'll tell you what put the climax on the market and what put it on the map. It's when Ronald, and this is before me and him were together on Arcasippy. He's always been a friend of mine. We got to know each other. And there's no, by the way, I have to say this. You know, me and Ronald have two separate. There he is right there. Hey, brother. Good. Thanks for tuning in. He didn't get enough of what I had to say last night. But you know, even though he's on here, I'm going to go ahead and say it. And he knows this because, you know, we talk a lot, but he's a brother I've never had. And there's a lot of ways you can go with this thing, but in life, you only find people, you know, a handful of people that'll stick with you, stand with you, and you don't have to think or wonder where they're going to come out. Ronald Burns is one of those guys. He's just a stand-up guy. I wouldn't have gotten into a situation. We're not actually in business together with the same company, but we really are with Arcasippy in business together. We're promoting and we are advertising and marketing our rubs together as a team. We have the Arcasippy team. We have the Arcasippy show. We're pushing. So when you're in that close, you better make sure when you're that hooked up with somebody, they're the right kind. Well, Ronald Burns and his family are the right kind, and I tell that to anybody. And so no matter where I go, what I do, he's got great products. He had great products before he ever met John Lindsey. Could have done just fine on his own. I feel like I've got pretty good products, but when we put them together, that's when the magic happened. And to tell you guys, we are so thankful. We're just blessed that worked out that way. And so we can't say enough about that.
It's incredible. We're going to have him on here too to talk about Hottie Toddy. But let's get into here to a little bit too. Well, Dave, real quick before we get into like the class and the competition stuff, do you have any questions about anything?
Someone asked where they can purchase your rubs. I mean, of course, yeah, there it is. Where can they purchase your
Josh
product?
Williams? Josh, you can get these rubs now. Let me tell you, mine and Ronald's are in. Actually, will be in about 60 Kroger stores across the South. These rubs will be in those stores. We're in chains of stores in different areas. Now, for mail order and to get them shipped across the country, you know, we've got several places. Sweet Swine of Mine.
That's Deadbird 180.
Walking. There he is, DB 180. That's Will Collier. Both the Papa Joe's stores down in Texas. And Champion Robbie Staggs, Champion Barbecue Supply, Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, the barbecue store down in Hempstead, Texas. Man, I don't want to leave anybody out. Went in Springfield area, Pits and Grills, and we've got the Bryce Gilliand up there. We've got all of he's up there. So we've got them in a lot of different places. Bama Barbecue Supply, Chris Lentz at Megabyte Barbecue. So they're in a lot of places. Grills in Mississippi. List goes on. And we're picking up actually more of those pro shops and barbecue stores every day. By the way, How to Barbecue Right, Malcolm Reed has those.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he picked me and Ronald up, and he's been a big help to us.
So with that DB 180,
mm-hmm.
I know I've watched a lot of them. You know, they've done good with their rub combo in competition. Mm-hmm. What sets yours apart from theirs and yours with your All Queued Up? And I mean, I know they got their AP rub kind of, you know, it seems powdery and things like that. I mean, I know Hottie Toddy's is that more powdery consistency.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hate to, and if you notice our rubs, they're fine. They're fine.
Exactly. I see a lot of, you know, the steak rubs are more finer than.
Yeah, you're right. And I don't like a coarse ground rub. We're all grinding them down anyway, most of the time.
Yeah.
If you get a coarser ground rub. Now, I will say this: Will Collier with DB 180 is one really nice guy, and he has worked hard with what he's doing. So I would never one time say anything at all about his quality rubs. They're great quality rubs.
Oh, yeah,
Rubs are like everything else. Everybody's got one. You know what I mean.
Exactly.
And so everybody's got one, and everybody's got a favorite.
That's everyone's first thing to do when they start the barbecue. How to make a rub.
But what's gonna set mine apart from the rest of them out there? As a matter of fact, what we tried to do on this, if there's going to be one thing that will set these apart over and above what I feel like anything else, and this is just me, and this is why I put them out. This is why we use these instead of some of the others. Is simply the balance on these rubs. To my knowledge, they're the best balanced rubs in my personal opinion. Yeah. And that is a humble personal opinion. They're the best balanced rubs. That's what they were created, designed. Somebody's going to compare one of those to Malcolm's AP or one of Will's DB 180, that steak shake, and say, wow, some of these got way more salt than others, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Mine's not going to be. You're not going to taste one thing that will stick out over and above anything else. That's the way we designed them, and that gives a young cook or a new cook or any cook an advantage. I just really believe that.
Absolutely.
And so anyway, and by the way, it's just like grills. You've got to learn how to use your rubs, and it doesn't matter what you're using. Mm-hmm. As long as you're learning how to use it and you know how much to put on, it doesn't matter. But for people starting out to get the right results, it just helps to start with a balanced flavor.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed too. These rubs, they're all so fine. And you talk about in your class of just layering it. And this is perfect for layering because you don't get a cakey rub. You don't get clumps. You don't get grittiness. It's just perfectly layered out. I mean, you just do a nice shakedown, and it's amazing. It's amazing. They're very well thought out products for sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I owe a lot of that, and Ronald does too, to Shane and Lawson Lynn over at Townsend Spice Company. They took what rubs that I had, and then they developed off of what I had. They developed these, what we know now as the All Queued Up rubs. And so, they were able to do it. They did a great job, and it really turned out well. And they've been there for me every time. I can't say enough good about the Shane and Lawson Lynn at Townsend Spice Supply, Melbourne, Arkansas. I want to show you guys one little thing right here.
Sure.
If you can see, I don't know. There we go.
Yep.
This is the new one coming out.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you guys know this or not about me, but last year I was 4th place in the world in ancillary categories. And to do that, I cooked a lot of chicken wings. I won chicken more times than I can count, top 3s, and won a bunch of them. That rub right there was used on every chicken wing. I've had people say, how do I get that flavor? Can't get that flavor. That right there is what we used. That was our when we were winning KCBS category chicken. That's what we used. we're bringing it out. It's called All Qued Up Rockin' Rooster.
Rockin' Rooster.
Yeah, it'll be out within the next just little bit, and then we have a new rub that's coming out, more of an AP style rub that we also use and layer with the others, steak shake. It's not out on the market, but it's been tested. First contest out of the gate, won first place, highest taste score in the contest, and it's called All Qued Up All In Bold.
Ooh,
All
bold.
In Bold.
Nice.
It's if you want to dare to be bold, just give it a shot. It'll do the job. And we've had it in competitions. It's really done a taste scores. We can tell a difference by adding that to our process. And there's a way to add it with this same thing that we're doing, and it really makes a difference.
I'm very excited for that. You'll have to keep us posted because I know I'm going to be purchasing it the second I see it comes out there. I'm getting it. But let's go in here a little bit and talk about the Champs Academy class. I made the terrible mistake of buying that class on a Tuesday, and I'm going to watch the first video. I was so daggone skeptical about. I want to have Mike Steele on here too. Just we got to coordinate somehow because I know he does his podcast at Tuesday nights too.
Right.
But I was so skeptical and scared to buy an online class. I mean, because I was afraid there was going to be like some YouTube video on how to cook a steak. Man, you guys, it is insane. It is the best money I've ever spent in barbecue, hands down, without a doubt.
Well worth the money.
Well
worth it.
Like I said, I made the mistake of buying it on a Tuesday, and I'm like laying there, I'm laying in bed, I'm like on my laptop, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch how he trims a steak. Mm-hmm. And then next thing I know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm shaking because I don't know like everything I did wrong, and everything I need to try. And
I got the phone call that morning too. Tell me about this class. This is awesome.
I'm like, I'm sitting there like the toothpicks, the fork, the toothpicks.
A lot of things going on. Well, number one, with that class, one of the things that makes that class what it is, and those barbecue champs classes, first of all, let's give kudos where it belongs. Mike Steele. Mike is a natural people person. He sets you at ease. Whether you're in there filming with him or whether you're in the audience listening, Mike is one of those guys that just makes everything all right. And he keeps things rolling during the time. And now Mike's a business guy and a good one. And he just knew that the concept of these barbecue champs classes were going to work. And now I'm going to tell you, you've not even seen this barbecue champs thing touch the tip of the iceberg. It's going to be the leader. You can just line them up. I'm just telling you, it's going to be the leader. When Mike Steele does something, he goes all the way, and he will not finish. He's just going to go all the way. That being said, and by the way, he spares no expense on these classes. His stuff is shot in this 4K video. That's just, I've
heard that from a lot of people.
Right,
from a lot of people,
and so. So the barbecue champs classes were awesome. Now, you guys have probably went and took classes from someone before. Maybe barbecue, anything before?
No, you're the first one.
I got you. I've been to Brad Leininger and Tim Shear's class. I've been to Travis Clark's. I've done several classes, barbecue classes. And, man, they're great. But when you go, you walk away and wonder, did I write everything down?
Yep.
Or did I catch, how did he really trim that brisket? I mean, which way did he, he explained this. You don't have to worry about that. I'm a musician, play bass. I've been playing ever since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Somebody told me one time, they were talking about a drummer because bass and drums always, and a drummer's always too loud. And somebody told me when I was just a kid, they said, if you can ever figure out how to put a volume knob on a drum set, you'll make $1 million. Well, they got electronic drums now where you can put a volume knob and turn them down. Well, if you can ever figure out how to get a high quality barbecue or steak class, cooking class of any kind, where it's high quality, brings you right in, takes you right into the inner sanctum, so to speak, where you can see every angle, everything, and then be able to rewind it. it's best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
And these classes do that. And I'm just telling you, it ain't like it's being shot a mile away. I mean, when it comes time for you to trim a steak, he's right down there. There's enough cameras. There's no expense spared on camera angles. All that stuff is right there. And so that's what makes these classes so good.
And it breaks it down so easily. I mean, I'm sitting here and I got to pull it up here. I don't want to share too daggone much, but I mean, there's 24 minutes on how to select and trim a steak. There is, 9 minutes on how to marinate. There's 23 minutes and 46 seconds on which steak rubs to use. There is 13 minutes on grill type, on type of grill to use. 29 minutes and 13 seconds on how to cook a steak, just how to cook it, like your cooking process. Right. And then how to box a competition steak. There's 20 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And you can go back to each one and watch it. Like I was, I took the whole class, took a whole bunch of notes, practiced. I've watched these videos, I don't know how many daggone times. And like after I got my second place, I was so daggone happy. I messaged you, I messaged Mike, I messaged the whole world.
and we appreciated it too. We love to hear good feedback.
And I went back and I'm like, okay, what can I do differently? So then I watched the how to cook a steak again. And I'm like, I'm not duck fat. I didn't duck fat it, every time I quarter turned,
right.
just,
Whoa, there, secret seller.
I'm sorry. I'm so damn excited. I need to sit on my hand.
Yeah, but you still, there's a special way to put that stuff on, and we showed you on the thing. And here's the deal, Jack, you're just like a lot of folks out there. You were serious about this, and you wanted to step your game up. But now let's think about this just for a second. It's a $169 class. Now look. It took me, I bet there's no telling what it took me to figure out all the secrets, everything that goes into that class. 100%. I'll tell you what, it'd be way more than 10 times a $169 class. If I sold those classes for $2,000 a pop, it still probably wouldn't be worth, me putting it out but here's the deal. If I was just into the money, you'll never get your money back that you've spent to get the experience to do this. But here's it in a nutshell. When you want to help people, and we do, and you want to advance a sport, and we do, the thing about these classes at $169, you can buy my class, you can jump over and buy Shauna Rapallo's class, and you can have two heavy hitting points. Shauna was really heavy in the points. She's one of the best cooks out there. You can have mine or her class, and then take techniques from both of them, and you still not got just a little over $300 wound up in two classes. And if you go out there and win your first one, you won a second, and you probably got paid. I don't know what you got paid, $500.
Yep.
Okay, so you more than paid for the class.
Yep.
And so these things are so economical. You could take my class and Terry Rome's class.
Yep.
My class and Matt Overson's class. And Alan Newton's got a class. It's just awesome.
The nice thing is too, and Brian Davis said it here too, you get a part of the Facebook group. That Facebook group is worth every bit of $150 in and of itself. Because I put on there and I asked you a question and you gave me your steak time. When you like to grill, when you put the steak on, and I went back and I'm like, okay, if he does this for this long, and that's how I got my whole timeline figured out. I mean, it's well worth the $169
right.
Pork steak too.
You get the pork steak, and I don't know. You can see the hat up here.
Hasty Bake
Pro Staff. Since that class, I'm cooking on Hasty Bake now, and that class was shot on a PK 360, which is a great grill. But I'm gonna tell you, I amped my game up when I started with Hasty Bake, and so since there's Jim Hudgens, part of Team Arkansas, cheaper than college tuition and way more fun. He's got a way with words. Jim, good to see you on here tonight, my friend. He's one of the best, I'm going to tell you. But with the Hasty Bake, it has kind of ramped my cooking up. It's just an excellent cooker. We love them. I feel like it gives me an advantage. Here's the deal. If you come on line and I have people say, hey, have you changed your process? My process since that class hasn't changed, not one iota. That's the same process that I've developed and started. You're going to get it. Now, if I change a thing or two, there's one of the new Hasty Bakes I've just bought. That's a Suburban. But I may roll on there and say, hey, guys, I'm cooking on this private forum, and say, hey, I'm cooking on my class. I showed you cooking on the 360. I've changed just a little bit. I'm cooking on a Hasty Bake, and here's how I set my fire. We try to keep you learning through what I'm getting at through that private Facebook group. It's there as a tool as we progress, and somewhere down the line, no doubt, if something changes, we may have to reshoot something or do whatever. We hadn't crossed that bridge yet, but what I'm saying is everything on these classes are relevant. They're new. It's fresh. It's not old material. Everything's new, and we can keep it updated through the private group.
Absolutely,
and that's what we do.
It is truly worth every daggone penny. And I've thought about going and taking other classes just to see, but then I'm like, this class has done it for me. I mean, I've done. You know, if I die, I died an award-winning SCA cook because of this. So.
I appreciate that, but I'm going to tell you, it was really our honor to be involved with that many great pit masters, and so to be named with those guys that are your heroes, and to feel like people have recognized you, that you would be good enough to be in that group. It just honestly, it's a humbling experience to me, and I'm just so thankful. And man, I'm just glad you guys love the class, and if others love it like you have, then my job is done. And I didn't, by the way, it was no holds barred. I gave you what I do. I didn't hold it back.
He pulled it out of you. I mean, that was the thing. He kept pulling for more, and that's what I like.
I didn't want to give all of it up.
He made you spill it all. Yeah, I mean, he was great.
Yeah, he did good.
So, it's 7:30 here. We only got so much more time with you. And we could go all daggone night, but let's get this grand finale going here. You graciously are giving up a combo, Arkansas combo. We did a post. You had to like the post and like the page, and let me tell you, that jumped our page up like crazy.
Great,
like absolute crazy. So we also you're given a hat too. The hat we're planning on. We're going to do a special giveaway with that because the combo that's the combo and the hat. That's way too much. Plus, Dave and I kind of want to try to fight for the hat itself. So I got my headphone case here. Hold on a sec. Cheesy Pete's. We got a lot of daggone names. Oh
wow, that's wonderful.
So we're going to take the.
Well, I just want to tell everybody that came on and liked and shared and done whatever it took to qualify. I appreciate it, and thank you for wanting at least to give our stuff a shot.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's names jumping out of the place. I'm not looking. Here we go. Let's see.
Pick me.
Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson.
Pigs. Convicted pigs.
Congrats.
Chris, congratulations, brother.
I don't know. I didn't see him on here, but it doesn't mean he's not hiding somewhere. He's usually on really well with it. But Chris Jackson, we'll get your information. We'll do a post here about it. But you just got yourself the Arkansas combo from John Lindsey himself. That's pretty daggone lucky son of a gun.
I appreciate it. Chris, congratulations, brother.
So, I don't even know really where to go and talk to you and how I'm going to talk to you because I don't want to talk too much about anything.
Keep going, brother.
So, besides taking your class and all, what tips and tricks do you have for someone getting into SCA? We got a lot of people on the chat that they're new to barbecue. I shared a lot of new pages, a lot of new cooks pages. What little tips do you have for someone who hasn't taken a class yet on what to do?
Well, Miss Candace Rogers is a really, really good friend of mine and one of the best SCA reps in our area that you'll ever find. And she says this pretty much religiously anytime we get to talk to her. Take an SCA judging class. Mm-hmm. If you're new, take an SCA judging class. Now, I'm going to be quite honest with you. We've got some things coming out. Arkansas does. some classes geared toward SCA cooking that is not a cooking class, but it's more toward an informational class that we're going to be doing at some grill stores, some things like that, to promote our promote SCA, working with some of our grill stores. By the way, if you're on here tonight and you are part of a grill store and you would like to have the Arcasipi combo in your store, or you would like for us to set up and come to where you're at and do an SCA informational class where we're kind of telling folks, hey, this is what SCA is all about, giving them some instruction on how to, this is how steak goes in the box. This is what judges are looking for. It's not the SCA version, but this would be the Arcasipi version. Awesome. Let us know. I'm on Facebook. You've got the Arcasipi Smoke Live page. You can contact Ronald Burns through Messenger or me through Messenger on Facebook. But other than those things, I would say first and foremost, take that judging class through SCA. One of the reps will teach it. They'll teach you some techniques. It'll cost you some money, but that's money well spent.
$40 ain't that? Yeah, well worth it at that point.
It's well worth it. And if you want to know what you're being judged on, look at it from a judge's perspective, and that's take the class. That'd be the first one. And then number two, before you get out, go ahead and map you a timeline. So you have something to follow, and don't just take it by chance. Just be sure you're watching every little, minute detail, and you can do that better by making you a list, kind of keeping your timeline going and staying with that timeline. And those are two good things that I would tell new cooks cooking your first competitions, your contests. Those are things that are pretty awesome to be able to do.
Absolutely. That's good. Good advice. Plus, go out and get yourself the Arcasipi combo too.
Yes, sir. Be sure and do that. Don't look, if you're going to do it, don't skimp. Go ahead and get the Arcasipi stuff.
So we just got word Chris isn't on tonight. He's a West Virginia State Trooper. So but he knows now. So I have a feeling someone's getting a free pass tonight on a speeding ticket somewhere. Oh, hold on. You're supposed to don't forget to tell them what Mr. Hotty Toddy says.
Oh, wait a minute now. Yeah. I see Jim Hudgens. He's just popping in there. I just now got it where I can see the comments. That's why I had a revelation here. So have fun and cook a steak. That's the motto. That's the Arcasipi motto. Just have fun and cook a steak. And if you do that, you've won, whether you win or not. I mean, that's the honest to goodness truth. And if you'll just have fun and cook a steak, but that's the Arcasipi motto. And be sure and don't forget that, guys, if you're starting competition. But when we do that, we've already won.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all about having fun.
That's what it's about. Yes, sir.
All about having fun. It's a blast.
So,
of course, you guys know it's more fun if you can win.
It's a lot of fun.
And so that's why the classes, that's why the Arcasipi combo and those things. But still, yet, no matter what, when you walk away, you know what we started doing, me and John Walter? We go out and give it. Now, this year we made a decision. We weren't going to run for points. Now, even not running and not trying, he's still ranked 11th, and I think I'm 13th or 14th in the points. There's almost 1,300 cooks. So, I mean, I'd say that's not a bad showing for us not really running for points. And what I mean by that is in a few weeks, there'll be like 4 contests. And there's John Walter right there. And but there'll be like 4 contests out in Oklahoma. And we could drive to it. It's a 6-hour drive. Or we could go down and cook a single in Sims, Alabama. All the team Arcasipi's going to be there. Gary Smith's putting it on. It's going to be a great, wonderful event, and we love the event. Well, we're not cooking the 4. We're going to go cook the single. Now, if we were running points chase, we'd go out there and cook the 4. We would have been in Iowa this weekend, and we would have been out there. And if you're going to do points chase the way SCA set it up right now, just to get in your mind, get with your boss, get with your wife or husband, or get with whoever that calls the shots and say, look, I am not going to have a life for 8 months here, because that's what it's going to take. And you just well get your bank account out, because I promise you, it's not cheap running for a points chase right now.
But it's a lot cheaper than running SCA or KCBS.
It is. Yeah. You are right there. And I'm really looking for SCA to change this points, the points champion.
Ooh, let's get into that, because I know there's definitely talk of the Arkansas champion, the Mississippi champion. There's a couple other places. I know the Pitmaster podcast, they talked about this a little bit. I don't know if it was with you or who it was with, but let's get into that a little bit here while we got some time left.
Right. Well, just, Matt Overson was on Mike Steele's show that I'll be on here in a few minutes, the BBQ Champs Live.
Yep.
Right after his class came out, and Matt's a really, really, he's a good guy, and he's very knowledgeable, and really like Matt Overson. And but Matt said and I'm just kind of paraphrasing here. He was asked this question about, do you think this points race in the SCA needs to change? Look, let's just face it. If you cook 59 contests and have a 5-point average and still can't win a points champion, what do you do? I mean, I'm not going to cook 80-something contests. For me, that's just not even. I'm just not going to do it. And I don't think most people will do that.
I don't know how you do that. That doesn't really even add up.
Right. Well, it's took your whole life, and it makes it, when we finished up that year where we cooked all those competitions, the first time we finished at Barbecue Blues, it was in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we had a double out there, and we were walking back and forth to the turn-in, and I didn't feel like standing up because we drove all night, and we'd been doing that week after week after week after week after week. And so I guess what what I would like to see, and I'm not alone, we've got a lot of others that are wanting to see this, is take a manageable number of contests, whether it's 30, whether it's 40, put them on the table and say, hey, anybody that cooks this amount of contests, we're going to take your top scores, top average score, whatever, out of this number, this amount of contests, and take your top 10. You can only cook, whatever. I'm not really sure how to do it, but manage it down to a certain number of contests. And then it's kind of like bass fishing. If you've caught a limit, you've cooked your limit, and you want to go and get higher scores at different contests, you can still go cook. Yep. If you're bass fishing, if you got one that's 12 inches and you catch one that's 14, you can swap them out. It's kind of the same premise. And so I guess what I'm saying is, for these guys like Rolf Garrett, he's on here tonight. Rodney Garrett. Yeah. For these guys like this that don't get enough recognition, that are outstanding steak cooks that could hold their own with me, hold their own with Terry Roan, Matt Overson, Sandy Brown. These guys can hold their own with anybody on the circuit, but they don't get the recognition because they're in Pennsylvania or somewhere they're at, and they don't have enough contests to cook. They deserve a chance to be named points champion in realistic conditions where you're not. And people get mad at me on some of this. I found out you kind of got to be real careful with your phrasing on things, because people will take it wrong. If you want to cook 85 contests, more power to you. If that's what you want to do, I will never knock you for that. Hey, I'm glad you're doing it, but most people cannot do that. And so I just think it's better when everyone has a shot, and you can get those number of contests down there to be manageable, and give them a shot. And let's let the best cooks, not just numbers of cooks, but let's let the best cooks speak for themselves. And when you do that, it will turn out better. And so when there's Robin Garrett on here right here too. Don't want to leave her out. I've met them several times in different places, but I'm just telling you, I know by watching, these are top notch, and I'm just using them as an example, but there's others. It's just, they need a chance to be able to get out and compete, because they can win. They are that caliber. So I'd like to see everybody have that shot.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool. And someone even said on here having like the AFC north of SCA, Virginia, Ohio, Maryland, even shrink it down a little bit, even just, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia and West Virginia, the 4-state region, or, just figuring out that would definitely be really cool. That'd be a lot more interesting too, because, it'd help get more SCAs. You're down, in your area, you could travel 6 hours and hit a quad. I don't think there's any within 6 or 7 hours of me. The Garretts will probably be there if there is. But, they get on to Florida. I don't think there's any of 6 and 7 hours with me this weekend. No. And
some people's driving 6 or 7 hours to cook a single. It needs to be it just needs to be a little more of a level play. And there's a way to do that. And I've got a lot of people, believe me, I get my bell rung all the time about this, because it's kind of ironic, since we started the show and everything. I bet me and Ronald Burns probably get anywhere, but I bet we get 100 emails or messages or something a week. Sometimes we'll get 30 and 40 a day, just people wanting to know this, that, and other. One of the things that we hear a lot about is this points thing. And Matt Overson actually hit it right on the money when he talked about it. I think I just hearing what he said, and he feels the same way I do, and some others. And I just think SCA is at a point now we're going to have to do something about this. Now, these state championships are popping up. You mentioned that just a while ago. We've got the Arkansas State Championship coming up. It's just been put out. Mississippi's got one. Alabama, or I say Mississippi's got one. I know Alabama's got one. We've got several of these coming out. What I'm in the works right now is trying to get a tour, Arkansas barbecue tour or trail, where it's a competition trail, where you've got 15 or 20 contests in the state that's a part of. They're the same, the same event. They're sponsored, and you have a points chase just for that tour.
Yes,
You get states doing that, and Texas did it 2 or 3 different times. But you have a Texas or Arkansas points champion, Mississippi points champion, whatever. If you do that, you get more folks. They might not be able to cook enough contests to run the gamut for the national points chase. But when you can recognize somebody for their efforts and what they do in the Arkansas points chase by cooking 15 contests or whatever, I just think it's good for the sport.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anytime you can lift somebody up, you can pat them on the back, give them, hey, you guys are just like me. Everybody likes to have a little recognition among their peers from time to time. And it's a good thing when you can, and some of these cooks need to be recognized. That's just the way I feel about it. And I'd like to see that happen. Really
Absolutely. That'd be incredible. The steak trail, that'd be pretty doggone cool. Even up here, we can start off on the Eastern Shore, work our way up to the Pocono, Pennsylvania mountains, all the way around, and one every other weekend. And it's sponsored, something. That's the cool thing about SCA is it's so fluid. It can be almost anything.
And you know what? SCA is really and honestly as good as it is right now. They have, if they got creative, they have not touched the tip of the iceberg on what SCA can do. I'm just telling you. And what we're talking about tonight is just kind of a testament to that. And number one, with Brett and Ken, now I'm going to tell you, they've done a number one job. They've done an awesome job. They were on our show last week.
Yep. I watched that.
Yeah, great guys. They support Arcasipi. Man, they've just been so good to work with. And my hat is off to them, and kudos to them for everything that they do and what they've done for this sport that we love. And So anything I can do to help them to advance it or do my part, I'm going to do it. And but I do think we need to recognize these cooks and find a way to make sure that we got the best of the best going forward. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Everybody won't agree, but I think everybody knows we need to do something on this points thing.
Right. Yeah. That's just only right.
Yep.
Right.
Only right.
Most definitely.
Well, Dave, you got anything else here? We're going to let this man get going to another one. I want to let him shout himself out on all of his stuff. I got all the stuff pulled up here. We can go through it, but you got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. So you are getting ready to head out over here. Let me share my screen over to BBQ CHAMPS Academy, which we talked about a lot here this evening.
Right.
Mike Steele's live podcast. You got
BBQ CHAMPS Academy.
You got Arkansas Live with you and Ronald Burns. That's always so fun and entertaining on a Monday night to watch.
I appreciate it.
Really, really good stuff. And last week, like you said, you had Ken and Brett on from SCA. Instagram, All Qued Up BBQ.
Right.
And then Facebook. I mean, you pretty much accept almost anyone on Facebook.
Yeah. And me and Ronald also, we have a new website we're trying to get up and running. And the capstone of this thing, once this thing really hits, I think the YouTube channel that we're working on will be the big thing for us. And that's where we can put out some sort of content, cooking content every week and do recipes. Those that don't know about Ronald, he's a world-class, first-class barbecue cook and just cook in general. And so I'm going to tell you something. Again, I can't say enough. I was blessed when Ron Burns walked into my life, and we knew each other through barbecue. But when we hooked up with this, it's just been a godsend. And I think what we got going, as long as we continue to do it and do it right, and we try to give back, stay humble, I think it's going to continue to do well. And I think the YouTube channel will really be good. And then, of course, we're trying to get our website up where you can actually purchase swag, Arkansas stuff. You can do our caps and all of our rubs and T-shirts, and also, I've got some products coming out. So he does too. So all of this stuff, we'd like to be able to do that right from our website. So we're working on that. Just takes a little time. This thing kind of caught us off guard. We weren't. We didn't know it was going to get this big this quick.
It went fast, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it went really fast.
Very fortunate. To all the Team Arkansas folks that chimed in tonight, I just saw Sunny Moody on here. Her and her husband Jeff are top notch. Jim Hudgens. I can't see who all's on here. Yeah, I saw Caitlin. Just all Team Arkansas. Thank you for chiming in. For everybody that watched the show tonight, thank you for coming on with us and support these guys. I love this show, and
thank you.
We'll be continue watching it every week.
Thank
you. Appreciate
John,
it.
Once you guys get stuff going, we would love to have you back and just pick your brain about almost anything. So once you get the YouTube going, let us know. Once you get the website up, let us know. We'll let you get going here to get on BBQ CHAMPS Academy. I'll also reach out to you here about getting Chris's information and all that kind of good stuff. All right?
We'll get it done. And, guys, it's been my honor and my pleasure. We'll see you next time, okay?
Yep, we'll see you on the road, maybe.
All right. Yes, sir.
Well, daggone, everybody. That was awesome. What do you think, Dave?
It was great. He's a good dude. Awesome guy. I mean, that was good.
So, well, you got anything else? I mean, we got 7 minutes here. He just logged off. Yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff in the books. You and I should make a seasonings together. We got Arkansas Live. We got Q Chat Live. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, we'll combo something together.
I mean, we got Barbecue Beast. Let's come up with something here.
Go ahead, let's do it.
So, alrighty, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna end it a little bit early here tonight.
We appreciate it. I mean, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody that continually comes out every week and supports us and watches us. I mean, this was something that Jake and I kind of just winged up. It's really taken off, for us. Obviously you can see I got a new background. We got some earmuffs on. We're trying to step our game up and try to give better quality to you guys and everybody out there. We are on Spotify and
iTunes for right now.
iTunes for now. We're progressively putting money into it to try to make it better for you guys. So we do appreciate it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Jake likes to play after hours.
Hey, I'm muting myself. Lewis actually asked a great question. Didn't Myron have the giveaway thing going on a while? Did they do the drawing yet? I don't even know the answer to that yet.
They have not done the drawing yet.
Uh-oh. Call your dad.
It ended yesterday. Last night it'll probably take like a week till he gets all the tally,
Probably. He had let that thing go on for a while. Speaking of drawings going on for a while, we have ours going on. We're ordering stuff. We're ordering a Thermopin, MK4, a Yeti cup like that Dave's got there, just not Girl Blue. And we're gonna get we're gonna get some stuff together because we really can't thank you guys enough. This literally just started with Dave and I talking bored on a Tuesday night on Instagram, and it has turned into this. And we, like Dave said, we can't thank you guys enough. And hopefully everyone that's in the comments, we want to get you on here. We had BBQ on last week. We had John Lindsey on here. We're doing this for mainly for you guys, Mid-Atlantic Barbecue. We want to grow this, and we want to be known on the map as a Mid-Atlantic. And so we would eventually want to have all of you on here. Don't ever think that we're getting all these big shots on here and that you're not going to get on. Trust me, Scott, I've talked to you and hung out with you a lot at competitions at SCAs. I definitely want to have you on here. And we're headed back to the Mid-Atlantic next week. I don't know exactly who we're having on just yet, but I know Tiffany from This Girl Knows Meat and David Pavone have both said that they'd be interested in coming on. So we're going to hit back to the Mid-Atlantic here in the coming weeks. And
if there's anybody that you guys in particular would like for us to try to get on, you want to hear, shoot us a message. We'll give it a whirl.
Oh, Michael Fay with the big invite to the class to go live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll have to talk, Michael, but we want to have everyone on. Backyard, new cooks, old cooks. I know someone made a comment like they haven't won a grand championship. Neither have Dave and I. We just want to get on and we want to pick brains because we're passionate. We just want to hear people be passionate about what we all love.
Yep.
And we're going to try to keep it mainly competition. I know we dabbled a little bit in the extra stuff with Diva last week. But we want to keep it just competitions. This is not going to turn into, having, we had Andrew on, but talking about competitions and his restaurant. We want to have everyone competition related on here. And but this is just a lot of fun. It's gotten a lot bigger than we ever thought.
Exactly. It's been fun for us as well. And like I said, we do truly greatly appreciate all the support that you guys give us.
100%. The Mid-Atlantic Barbecue Points Chase will be decided on Halloween in Wytheville, Virginia. Oh, snap. We'll have to keep posting on that one.
Yes.
Where are we located in the Mid-Atlantic area? We're actually located in 2 different states, which is why we come to you on Zoom. Or no, not Zoom anymore. Zoom, terrible. StreamYard, which is why we come over here. But I'm in Maryland, and Dave is in New Jersey. Jersey. Tyler Bloom will appreciate the Jersey accent. But yeah, we want to get everyone on here. Rodney Garrett said Chris Shriver. I'm actually a little scared to have Chris on because Chris pretty much dominates me at everything we compete against, and we started our same competitions together, and he's gotten so much bigger than me. And I'm mildly intimidated by Chris Shriver, and he knows it. It's fun reading comments here. We got 25 people literally just listening to us ramble.
What's up, Christy?
What's that?
Christy. That's my girl, Christy, from work. She said, Jersey.
Oh, hi, Christy. Joyzy. Schnooky. Joyzy.
Snooky.
So,
Jersey
go down to the gas station and get me some cigarettes in the Jersey.
That's North Jersey. I'm South Jersey.
Okay. What's Jersey Shore?
That's South.
So that whole scene, that's your people.
That's my peeps. But we'll think of something special we're going to do for the giveaway. We're not sure. I know we do have the giveaway that we're going to do on November 7th, which will be quite interesting. Please stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to do a giveaway at that, and then daggone, probably before we do that giveaway, we'll be at 1,000 because right now we're at 554 people like this and 675 people follow this. That's insane. And I don't know if people that can follow at the same time. I don't know how that whole thing works.
Yeah, I don't get that whole thing.
Yeah, me either. But once we're just going to watch likes.
I live in Elsinboro, New Jersey, which is closest to Pennsville, which is 15 minutes from the Delaware Bridge, if that puts it in perspective.
So, yeah. Well, daggone. Well, it's 8 o'clock. We've done this thing for an hour. That's kind of what we'd like to stick to here.
Everybody go over to barbecue chat, finish up with John and Mike.
Yeah. Let's let me pull that up here one more time here. BBQ CHAMPS ACADEMY. Mike Steele, John Lindsey's on there now. Definitely go over and check that out. Probably be a lot more in depth than we are because they can probably talk about it a lot more about the class than we can. But yeah, tell you what, man, that's one good dude on and off camera. I mean, he's answered my questions. I've messaged him. That Facebook group is well worth $150 because I put a question on there. This dude gave me his timeline.
Yes.
So it's amazing, amazing guy. And
if you haven't gotten the class and if you're anything in stakes, I mean, it's the Garretts will vouch for it. I mean, they've got the classes. They're kicking butt and taking names all over the place. It is absolutely well worth the money.
Yep.
We're all skeptic at one point in time, but just like John said, it's $150. You burn that going to one competition. You buy this class one time and win. Just like Jake, second place. I mean, he just bought the class 4 times over.
Yeah, absolutely. And just John's in Arkansas, Dave's in New Jersey, I'm in Maryland. I competed in West Newton, Pennsylvania with what he does, and it wins all over the place. So don't worry about flavor profile. Also, I got to say too, you don't have to use that flavor profile either. I use 3 Eyes because, I mean, shout out to Dan Hickson. He offered to sponsor me in the year of the COVID and Hartsman Barbecue this year. So I use 3 Eyes, but just the techniques and all, it's so worth it. So, all right. Well, that being said, Dave, I guess we'll shut it down here for the night or for the week.
That's it. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much.